Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Behind the Hub. I'm Holly, Head of Marketing at BabelQuest. We've got Bridget here, who's going to be talking to you all about conversions, optimizing conversions in HubSpot. We thought this was something really important to talk about because we're talking so much about demand generation and engaging content and whether we should do that. But HubSpot has some great tools still to optimize your conversions in HubSpot. And actually, it's probably more important than ever that the conversion points that you do have on your website are optimized and working as hard as they can for you. So I'll let Bridget introduce herself and go through what she has to share. We'll dive into the world of conversions. Over to you, Bridget.
Hi everyone, so as Holly said, I'm Bridget. I'm a principal inbound marketer at BabelQuest. So I've got nearly a decade of experience in digital marketing and specifically specialising in using HubSpot. So I'll start with some basics today, talking about why it's important, what benefits you'll see, and then we'll get onto the good stuff like how to use HubSpot for conversion optimization and how you should be tracking it. So let me share my screen and we can get into it. Perfect. So what is conversion optimization? So it's an art. Conversion optimization is an art. It's all about refining, improving your marketing campaigns. It's about every step of the customer's journey. So from that first click right through to the final sale, you want to squeeze out all of the value that you can from all of your existing traffic and turn all of those visitors that you're already getting into paying customers. So you might be wondering, what are the immediate benefits? Especially in a world of demand generation, like Holly mentioned, getting those immediate benefits is super important. So obviously it's going to impact your bottom line, but it also helps make the most of existing marketing investments. So instead of solely focusing on increasing your traffic, conversion optimization allows you to get that value from those visitors that you've already got. So it's kind of like turning the dial from good to great on your marketing efforts. So you might have known all of that already, but I think it doesn't hurt to have a little recap. And now we can go on and talk about some of the conversion optimization tools and features that HubSpot have got. So I've got 5 tools and features to talk to you about. And then I've also included some use cases as well. So starting off with workflows, obviously one of my favorites. And I'm going to just dive straight into a use case for this one. So imagine that you're getting loads of views on a page, but minimal conversions. You can remind the contacts to complete the form, remind them why they should. And we did exactly that. So we had a page with a meeting link on it, meeting page, and sometimes people weren't booking in. And now we wanted to utilize the people that were there. We didn't want to necessarily attract even more people. We wanted to make sure that the people that were visiting, that they were converting and booking in that meeting. So it looks simple, but there was a lot of fiddly stuff going on behind the scenes. So we had to create a date stamp for when the page was viewed, and that's a property that we had to create. And then we had to set a workflow to assign that date. And then we had to build this. So we've made that property in the background, and that's going to be the trigger. And then we push through and use that. So if the date of the last meeting booked is unknown, or the date of the last meeting booked is before the property, then it is going to send a reminder email. Now that probably sounds like a lot of jargon, a lot of gobbledygook, but one of our people here at BabelQuest has written a full process for it in our HubSpot hacks. So we'll make sure to link that in the chat so that you can all go and have a look at the proper step 1, step 2, step 3. But that's a really good use case for workflows, to making sure that you're optimizing those visitors on meeting pages. You can do it for pricing pages, abandoned carts, basically any page that's getting a high view and a low conversion. Now, let's talk about something every marketer loves, or I do anyway. It's A/B testing. So you get to be like a mad little scientist in the marketing lab, running some tests on landing pages, forms, CTAs, whatever conversion focused elements that you have. So you'll be trying out different variations, measuring performance. I look at A/B testing as just having a bit of fun. So here is an example in HubSpot of how you can create an A/B test for a subject line. So with this, what you'll do is you'll create an email. This is obviously just blank because it's just for this example. And you'll create A/B test in the top left-hand corner. And then here you'll just give it a name, version A, version B, and how you want to weight that. So the percentage of recipients to include in the test. So we're going to test it on 50% of the contacts on each side, and it will decide who's the winner afterwards. And here you can see there's the options test 1, test 2, and just on each of those, you'll just edit the subject line on each, keeping everything else exactly the same. We're just going to do the subject line. And then it will give you all of the reporting. So there's an example that we built in our test portal, and you can see that they report on everything. So how many it's delivered to, opened, open rate, clicked, click-through rate, all of that. So you can see exactly how it did. So we do cover best practice in a little bit, but just on subject lines, some words to avoid. We want to avoid meeting, chat, quick, learn, urgent, training, remember, might, and featured. All of these are going to drag your subject line down when you're testing. But try testing with something like early access or starting with a number. So if you say 10 tips for A/B testing, that could increase it by up to 21%. Whereas all of those words that I mentioned previously, like meeting, chat, quick, they're going to drag it down on average like 10%. So when you're testing, just keep that in mind. We will be writing some HubSpot hacks on this as well, so you can have a look at what we've found works and what doesn't work, and that might help as well. On to smart modules. So this is another gem in HubSpot's conversion optimization toolbox. So it's going to allow you to create dynamic and personalized content for your visitors. So using the same kind of features in HubSpot, you can create different modules that will, for this example, we're going to do convince somebody to sign up, or if they haven't already signed up, then we'll take them through to their application details, because this is for a education site. So what we want to do is click on smart rules in the top left hand side on this particular module. We're going to show different content based on their list membership. So we're going to have created a list already that is they've either applied for this course or they haven't applied for this course yet. So this list, we've called it test, but they are people that have already applied for it. And then we go next. And here you can see you can edit the content based on the defaults, which is that's going to be shown to everyone. You want to keep that broad. You don't want it to be too bespoke and personalized. But for the test, which is the applicants that we're doing this one for, here is where you can be super personalized. You can say, thanks for your application. Really great to see you joined. And that just adds that little something to your page. It just shows that they're special. It just helps them in their customer journey. So I think this is a great example of personalizing based on what stage they're at. So that's like prospect versus customer. But there are some other ideas that we have that we think everybody should be using. So buyer personas. You wouldn't be talking to a CEO in the same way that you would talk to a CFO. They've got different priorities. They've got different focuses. So the copy that you've got on your landing page or your website page or your blog, it needs to target each of them in a different way. So we always use smart modules to do that. And we'll also have started using it to personalize your social proof. So using smart modules to show reviews of companies in their industry. So if we've got a manufacturer coming to our website, we'll show them reviews from other manufacturers that we've used, because that's what they want to see. They want to see how it benefits them, and it's more personalized. And if it's for a hospitality business, we'd only show them reviews of companies in their industry. So that's another great use case. And also don't forget you could also do it for personalizing their pricing. So if you've got a target account in mind and you've got that set up in HubSpot, making sure you've got an offer of maybe 10% or 5%, whatever's kind of relevant for your business, having that as a smart module might be a good way of getting them through the door. And if they're a target account, then obviously they might have a bespoke price, for example. So that's a great way of using a smart modules tool. Let's not forget the power of CTAs. So for this one, I am going to jump straight into the platform because there is so much to show you. We've got the new CTA beta to show off. So they offer a whole bunch of customizable CTAs that will grab your attention because we want them to click that button. We want them to not be able to resist it. So let me click in and show you. We'll go up here, go down to lead capture and CTA. So this is our test portal. And as you can see, it's got that beta next to it. So we're going to show it off a little bit. We've got new designs. I don't know if my screen is sharing properly, actually. Don't think you can actually see that one. Let's try that. There we go. Here we go. You can see it now. So we'll go to creating the CTA. Here we go. We've got the new designs, we've got the new layouts, we've got the new templates. It's all really exciting. And they're super important, right? CTAs are super important. So we've got the pop-ups. Now, these are fancier than ever, and I would say that they are essential. To start with, if you're not using pop-up forms, then tread lightly, do some testing. Only trigger them on exit intent. So when somebody's about to exit your website, it's going to pop up and say, wait, here's 10% off, stay with us, or wait, subscribe to our newsletter, something that's going to catch their attention. And I say tread carefully because some people don't like how intrusive they are, and you can overdo it with pop-up forms. You don't want to have a pop-up form on every single page. You just want to be having it where it's relevant. You can't win everyone over. Some people don't like them, some people do. So you just kind of have to test it out to start with. But definitely start using some pop-up CTAs. The click to chat option. So let me scroll down. This is new. Just whilst I get there, you can see all of the new designs that they've got, which is great if you've not got, an in-house developer to help you be all fancy with the CTAs, or you can keep it, standard, simple, the button. But this is what we are really excited about. The click to chat. So as I mentioned before, it needs to be about user experience, the conversion optimization. People want to be able to talk to you quickly. They expect to be able to get in touch with your customer service team instantly nowadays. So this is where HubSpot kind of upped their game. They've got a solution now. You can click to chat. And if you've got a WhatsApp option, they can now talk to you directly in WhatsApp via a CTA. And that's so important. And it's going to change people's experiences with your company for the better. And if you're not using WhatsApp with your service hub, then you need to get on that quickly because everybody else is, and you'll struggle. You'll be behind. You've got to get ahead of those competitors, and this is how you're going to do it. Another option, we go down, is this little pop-up banner at the bottom. So it's not intrusive. It's really tempting. It's really subtle, and we love it. It's great for obviously a demo. It's great for announcements. It's great for when you want to tempt people, but not in an obvious way. You don't want to be doing the pop-up form on every page, like I mentioned. But this is a good alternative to still getting your message over there without pushing it in people's faces. So that's another one of our favorites. Let me head back to the slides. And we'll go on to personalization. So this isn't technically a HubSpot tool. It's more of a feature. But it's a great thing to test out. So imagine this, you're checking out the pricing page on a website, and instead of seeing a generic message, you're greeted with, "We'd love to work with you, Bobby. Francesca, Louisa, whatever your name is. And it's these little touches that really make the visitor feel valued, and they'll be more likely to convert. So with HubSpot, you can use it pretty much anywhere. You can use it on landing pages, you can use it on website pages, emails, and now there is an option to do it within the CTAs as well, if you've got that CTA beta. So here's an example of what it would look like on a page. So this is the same application page that we used earlier for the Smart module. And again, we've just used their first name. First name goes a long way, but you don't have to do that. You could use their industry on a company page. You could say, here's what businesses in manufacturing are doing, and then have a series of blogs that are related to that. There are so many options for personalization. You just need to make sure that you've got that data to start with. And you've got to make sure that data is clean. So there are options within HubSpot for that. There's Operations Hub, or if you want to do things a little bit cheaper, you could build a data hygiene dashboard. So again, we do have a HubSpot hack on that, but this dashboard will just show you contacts who don't have a first name, contacts who don't have a last name, all of those missing pieces of data that you need to make this personalization up. You can have it on one dashboard, and you just need to keep on top of it. Now, let's talk about tracking your conversion optimization efforts. So tracking is key. You need to understand what's working, what needs improvement, and HubSpot have got you covered. So they've got an analytics dashboard, and this is just standard. Click on here. This is just, as I said, and it just gives you a bird's eye view. So this is if you don't have time to build like a proper dashboard. You've got this information. Again, this is our test portal, so there's not a huge amount of data here. But before you build out a proper dashboard, you need to set some clear goals and KPIs, because conversion optimization will look different for everybody. It could be generic. You could be improving your overall conversion rate. The data in here is not, we haven't got a lot of it. Apparently our conversion rate is 14%, which is ridiculously high. So this is obviously not true, but you want to be aiming for over 2% for your website session to contact rate. But if it's below that, then that should be one of your more generic KPIs that you should be aiming for, to go over 2%. But you might have specific goals of boosting conversions on a specific landing page. Have you got a product demo page that you need to increase conversions on? Have you got a contact us page that doesn't do very well, etc.? There are so many different pages that are bespoke to your business, and you need to have those set first, because HubSpot does provide a lot of reporting options to fit your needs, but if you want to dig really deeper, you need to have those goals set first. But let me run you through a basic dashboard, which you can make yourself using HubSpot's pre-built report. So this is super easy. It should only take you 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and it's all done for you. So you just know where to look, and we can help you with that. So let me head to a dashboard that I made previously. Here we go, test conversion dashboard. So this is just for this here, and it will just get you to keep your finger on the pulse a little bit, get you to see what's working and what's not. So we're starting off with that, what we just looked at basically. It's very generic. It's all of the website traffic that you have versus conversions. So you've got that session to contact rate, you've got the bounce rate, you've got the contact to customer rate. So this is people that have converted and then gone on to become a customer. So if you're not using deal pipelines and that kind of thing, you won't actually get this visibility. But you will have, session contact rate, which is super important. Page views per session. These are all really important statistics to data, to have a look at, and just to keep your finger on the pulse again. And we can go down, and this is where we've got it broken down a little bit more. So we've got website pages specifically versus conversion. So it's the same report as above, but just website pages. And then we've got the same for landing pages as well. And obviously you would have the same for blog pages as well. Going down, we've got form submissions. the totals for pop-ups as well as just general. And on here again, you can see the conversion rate. You can see the number of submissions. Obviously, again, this is a test portal, so please bear with that. There's no real data in here. And then finally, emails. How are your emails performing? And that is just, those are the basic ones. That is what everyone should have in their portal, that you should be checking every other day, if not every single day, to see how things are going. So all of this is already there, like I mentioned. So what you want to be doing is going to reports, analytics, tools, traffic analytics. Here we go. And you want to save this report here. You want to save report, save table, and it will pop up and you want to give it whatever name you want. So I've said website traffic versus conversions, and then add it to a conversion dashboard that you've already made. And that's going to take this report here and pop it into the dashboard. And then if you go to pages, you can do exactly the same thing. You can save the report. You can either have it, as a chart or as a table. And that's website pages because we filtered by website pages. If you filter again by landing pages and you just do the same thing, you save that report and then it will go onto that dashboard that you've made. And again, blog posts. All of this will be going onto the report as long as you keep saving it. Save table. And then if you want to get that form information, if you go to reports, and then apologies for it being so slow. You can't see, but I have a lot of tabs open and it doesn't seem to like it. We'll go create report in the top right. And we're not going to be creating anything from bespoke here. It does seem like that, but it's not. These are all of the ones that HubSpot have already made you. And there is so much good reporting in there that's ready. So you just type in form. We're going to find all of the reports that HubSpot have already made by form. So I recommend doing form submission totals. This just gives you a really good overview of what's been submitted. And if you click on that, it should pop up and give you the options again to save it to a report, to a dashboard, sorry. And this is what I use as well for the pop-up information. I just filtered down the form type, got rid of regular, got rid of non-HubSpot and blog comments, update that filter, save. Again, just add that to your existing dashboard. So you can find all of those here. I would have a play, have a look around, but definitely get those website traffic, landing page, blog posts, the forms and the emails. That is the bare minimum that you should be looking at every week, every day, to maybe not every day, but every week, just to have a look and see how everything is doing. Let me go back to the slide deck. So we've talked about tracking and now best practice. So giving you a lot of information, done a lot of talking, but when you dive into the world of conversion optimization, you need to keep in mind a couple of best practices. So I've kind of given you a few nuggets throughout, but start by getting to know your target audience inside and out. If you don't have your buyer personas already figured out, then that's something that you need to do because you need to understand who they are, what they want. You need to create those targeted messages that resonates with them because that's going to drive your conversions. But don't get too bogged down in the content. You need to also get that user experience balance right. It needs to be smooth. It needs to be seamless. It needs to be delightful. So mobile optimization is obviously a big part of that. You want your website to look good. You want it to work well. And you want to make it easy for visitors to navigate, interact, and convert. So there are a couple of ways to do this. So in terms of landing page layout and best practices, here is an example of HubSpots and what HubSpots do. So you want to include an image. You want to A/B test the form download button. You want to make sure you've got bullet points for benefits and experiment as well. So make sure that you're maybe including a video because that has been shown to increase conversion rates by 20% on landing pages. Especially if it's like a demo, for example, people want to see a video of it, so show them. And again, like the form, just make sure it's reduced, make sure that they're getting value for how much information you want to provide them, give them clear, actionable direction. These are all really important. But you want to be making sure, again, that you're targeting that buyer persona, you're addressing those pain points. It's all well and good having these landing pages, but you need to make sure that they are targeted to the right person. Using statistics to build up that trust, using that social proof with the SMART modules, like we've mentioned before, all of that is going to really help get conversions, get leads, get paying customers at the end of the day. Again, there's a couple more information on the forms. So here's a good example. There's a clear header. There's not too many fields that are going to put you off. It's got progressive fields on it in the form styling. So that's all super important. And it's going to make such a difference to your conversions. So to sum up, a small increase in your conversion rate is going to lead to a substantial growth. I think essentially conversion optimization is a secret sauce. It's going to turn your visitors into customers. And essentially HubSpot has got the tools and the features to make it happen. So you want to be A/B testing, you want to be personalizing those CTAs, and you want to make sure you've got that basic dashboard set up for you to keep an eye on. I think that is everything from me. I realise I've talked a lot. Let me get Holly back, and we'll go through a couple of questions if there are any. I think there's a little bit of a delay, so apologies if my screen and me talking weren't really aligned there. Oh, Holly's laptop's crashed. No problem. If you do have any Q&As, let me know. Any questions about conversion optimization, any questions about how to use HubSpot more, any tools that I didn't mention that you want to know more about, because I could talk about HubSpot all day, but I was given a time limit. So I can't see any questions. Nobody wants to know more about conversion optimization. Maybe I just covered everything. No questions. Well, we'll give it another minute, and then we'll wrap everything up. So as I mentioned a couple of HubSpot hacks that will share the link. So when we send out this recording, we'll make sure to share the links to all of those HubSpot hacks. There is one for the basic dashboard as well. If you missed it and you just want it written down, then we'll share that with you. There is also one coming for a more complex dashboard. So that's going to be a bit more customized. You're going to be building reports from scratch, not ones that are generated by HubSpot. So this will be really good for specific goals. So if you've got goals for specific landing pages that you want to increase conversions on, this is where we'll go through it. So keep an eye on your inbox, because that it will be coming. And no questions. Amazing. On that note then, I think we'll wrap up. So thank you so much for joining us, and can't wait to hopefully be featured in another one coming soon. Have a good week, everyone.